North Korean leader Kim Jongun was shown in a tank during the country's latest military drills. State media said he drove the tank. The media released pictures of Kim peeking out of the machine. The military drills were conducted to inspect North Korea's combat capabilities. The drills involved placing units near North and South Korea's border. State media said that they were in firing range of the enemy's capital. Meanwhile, the South Korean and American militaries held combined live-fire drills. This came as a part of the ongoing Freedom Shield exercise. Over 300 South Korean and American soldiers, along with over 20 South Korean tanks, were part of the drills. The exercise began on the 4th of March and it will conclude today. Russia, China and Iran started joint naval drills in the Gulf of Oman yesterday. More than 20 warships and naval helicopters from the three countries are involved in the exercise. The drill is codenamed Maritime Security Belt 2024 and will last until March 15th. A Chinese fishing vessel capsized near the Taiwan-controlled Kinmen Islands this morning. Taiwan and China dispatched rescue teams in a rare joint mission to save the boat. This comes amid heightened tensions in the Taiwan Strait. The President of the Philippines, Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., is set to meet U.S. State Secretary Antony Blinken next week. The leaders will meet in the U.S. on March 19th. They will discuss security issues and mutual cooperation. This comes amid escalating tensions between the Philippines and China over disputed territory in the South China Sea. Ukraine launched a sweeping drone attack on Russia yesterday. This led to a fire in the Russian oil company Rosneft's biggest oil refinery. Thick plumes of black smoke were seen rising from the refinery building as firefighters struggled to control the flames. The fire was put out several hours later. Following the attack, Russian President Vladimir Putin said that it was Ukraine's attempt to disrupt Russia's upcoming presidential election. Meanwhile, a Russian drone hit an apartment block in Ukraine's eastern city of Sumy. Officials said 30 apartments of a 5-story residential building were damaged and 15 of them were largely destroyed. Rescuers evacuated 10 people from the apartment. 8 of them have sustained serious injuries. A Hamas fighter was killed after an Israeli drone hit a car outside the southern Lebanese city of Tyre yesterday. Both Israeli and Hamas officials have confirmed the death. The Israeli military has released a video purportedly showing the attack. Reports citing Hamas sources identified the killed fighter as Hadi Mustafa. Meanwhile, reports added that a man who was passing by on his motorcycle was also killed in the strike. In the U.S., hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters blocked a terminal at the San Francisco International Airport yesterday. The demonstrators were demanding a ceasefire in Gaza and an end to American military assistance for Israel. Footage from the scene showed protesters carrying banners and chanting slogans. In India, 2 members have been appointed to fill the vacancies in the Election Commission. Ex-bureaucrats Sukhbir Singh Sandhu and Gyanesh Kumar have been appointed as new election commissioners. A 3-member panel chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a meeting earlier in the day to select the members. This comes days after one of India's election commissioners, Arun Goel, abruptly stepped down. A 37-year-old man died and another was seriously injured after rocks collapsed inside an underground gold mine in Australia. Authorities said that 28 other workers at the site have been rescued. The mine has been shut down as the local safety regulator investigates the incident. Meanwhile, a union that represents the miners said that some of its members had voiced safety concerns earlier. In Nigeria, gunmen who kidnapped nearly 300 school students last week have come out with their ransom demand. They reportedly want 1 billion naira, or more than $600,000, for the hostages. On the 7th of March, about 300 school students and staff were abducted around morning assembly time. In climate news, a dangerous wildfire has started in the South American nation of Chile. It started along Chile's Pacific coast yesterday. The fire has reached a dense residential area in the city of Valparaiso. The latest blaze comes a month after wildfires killed at least 133 people in central Chile. It was the country's deadliest natural disaster since 2010. A landslide struck the city of Los Angeles in the US yesterday. It destroyed a hillside home and threatened 2 other houses in the area. Authorities said several people were evacuated from one of the buildings. Los Angeles has reported almost 600 mudslides since early February. Meanwhile, several parts of the US will likely see extreme weather conditions today. Reports say there's an increased risk of wildfires in the states of Texas and Oklahoma. Meanwhile, heavy snowfall is expected in the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Most parts of Australia are facing a hotter than usual autumn this year. In Sydney, sea temperatures have crossed 26.5 degrees Celsius. This may lead to the formation of tropical cyclones. Scientists say climate change and the El Niño weather pattern are behind the temperature rise. A new study says that healthy reef sounds can help regenerate coral reefs. This is according to the US-based Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. For the study, scientists placed underwater speaker systems next to dying corals. These speakers played sounds that depict a healthy reef, such as sounds from multiple marine species. The test resulted in more coral larvae settling within areas close to the sound systems. Coral reefs have been dying due to rising ocean temperatures, and this could help fix that problem. A new study by the Indian government says that women are more vulnerable to the effects of climate change. The study says that severe droughts increase the risk of women being underweight by 35%. Meanwhile, heat waves increase mortality rates and pregnancy complications in women. Frequent floods can also disrupt female sexual and reproductive health. Methane emissions from the energy sector remained near record highs in 2023. This is according to a report by the France-based International Energy Agency. The report says that over 120 million metric tons of methane were released last year. This was close to the record set in 2019, where 130 million metric tons of methane were emitted. Methane gas is responsible for around 30% of the increase in global temperatures. This year's Olympic Games in Paris are hoping to present an eco-friendly model for global sporting events. The Olympic venues will restrict the use of plastic bottles and serve more vegetarian meals. Stadiums will also use renewable energy to reduce their carbon footprint. The organizers aim to keep carbon emissions at half the level of the 2012 Beijing Olympics. On to business and tech news. US lawmakers have passed a bill to ban the social media platform TikTok. That is, if its Chinese owner ByteDance doesn't divest. The legislation gives the Chinese firm ByteDance about 6 months to sell all of TikTok's assets in the US. This comes as the US responds to heightened national security concerns about China. Meanwhile, the European Union's Parliament has passed a legislation to regulate artificial intelligence. The law is the world's first comprehensive framework governing AI. It aims to address worries about bias, privacy, and other risks of AI technology. Under the law, AI applications that pose a clear risk to fundamental rights will be banned. This includes AI technology involved in the processing of biometric data or scraping of facial images. ChatGPT users will soon get access to the news content of Le Monde and Prisa Media. The chatbot owner OpenAI has partnered with the European media groups. OpenAI will also use their news content to train its AI models. Last year, news publisher Axel Springer and the Associated Press also partnered with the firm. SpaceX will attempt to launch its Starship rocket for the third time today. This comes after the US Federal Aviation Administration granted the firm a test license for the rocket. Starship is a two-stage rocket system which aims to remain fully reusable after a mission. The last two tests of the rocket had ended in explosions. Tesla CEO Elon Musk visited the firm's German plant yesterday. His visit came after an arson attack earlier this month that had forced the plant to shut down for a week. During his visit, Musk thanked the factory workers for their contribution in resuming the plant's operations. Waymo, the self-driving car firm, is offering free ride services in the US city of Los Angeles. The firm has said that the facility will be available to a select group of people starting today. Cars will run across 163 square kilometers of the city from Santa Monica to downtown Los Angeles. American electric vehicle startup Fisker is reportedly planning to file for bankruptcy. The firm has hired a restructuring advisor to help with the process. Fisker has been struggling with sales amid slowing EV demand in the US. Earlier this month, the firm had said that it might not have enough money to survive another year. Japan's Toyota Motors will give its factory workers their biggest pay rise in the last 25 years. The car maker has agreed to the workers' demands of a monthly pay hike of up to $193. The announcement comes after wage talks between Japanese firms and the country's workers' union. Several companies, including Panasonic, Nippon Steel, and Nissan, have also committed to give pay hikes to workers. Sportswear giant Adidas has reported its first annual loss in more than 30 years. For the year 2023, it reported a loss of over $63 million. This was on the back of the firm's declining sales in North America. Adidas's sales in the region fell by 16% last year. American retail store chain Dollar Tree will close nearly 1,000 of its stores. This comes as the firm struggles to keep up with competition from the likes of Walmart and Target. Yesterday, Dollar Tree reported its fourth quarter results. Its total sales stood at $8.63 billion, which was below the analysts' expectations of $8.67 billion. Moving to sports, let's start with cricket. Bangladesh beat Sri Lanka by 6 wickets in yesterday's ODI match. Sri Lanka went to bat first and were bowled out for 255 runs in the 48th over. Hosts Bangladesh chased down the target in the 44th over. Captain Najmal Hussain Shanto scored an unbeaten 122 to clinch the win. He was joined at the crease by Mushfiqur Rahim, who scored an unbeaten 73. Visitor Sri Lanka now trail Bangladesh 1-0 in the three-match ODI series. Pakistan is likely to replace pacer Shaheen Afridi as their T20 International captain. This is according to local reports. Afridi has come under the scanner for his supposed subpar captaincy in Pakistan's ongoing domestic T20 league. As per the reports, Afridi is likely to be replaced by Mohammad Rizwan ahead of the upcoming T20 World Cup. England batter Harry Brook has withdrawn from the Indian Premier League or IPL due to personal reasons. Brook, who was picked up by the Delhi Capitals in December, will skip the entire tournament. Earlier, the English player had also opted out of playing the recent 5-match Test series against India. The Delhi Capitals are yet to announce a replacement for Brook. In football, Atletico Madrid beat Inter Milan 2-1 in the second leg of their Champions League match. Inter fired first with a goal in the 33rd minute by Federico De Marco. Atletico's Antoine Griezmann scored 2 minutes later to equalize. In the 87th minute, Memphis Depay scored another goal for Atletico. Inter had already won the first leg 1-0, making the aggregate score a 2-all draw. Then the match went into penalties. Atletico emerged victorious in the shootout 3-2. Dortmund beat PSV Eindhoven 2-0 in their second League Champions League match yesterday. Jadon Sancho scored in just the third minute to give Dortmund an early lead. In second half injury time, Marco Reus scored for the German club to make the score 2-0. Dortmund won 3-1 on aggregate. In tennis, world number 4 Daniil Medvedev advanced at the Indian Wells Open. The Russian Medvedev beat Bulgarian Grigor Dimitrov 6-4, 6-4 in straight sets. The match lasted 75 minutes as the Russian player put on a show of top-tier shots. Medvedev will now play in the quarter-final against Norway's Holger Rune. World number 3 Coco Gauff cruised into the Indian Wells Open quarter-final. America's Gauff dominated Germany's Elise Mertens 6-0, 6-2 in straight sets. The match lasted barely 25 minutes. Gauff next faces China's Yue Yuan tomorrow. In badminton, India's Lakshya Sen won convincingly at the All England Open. He beat Denmark's Magnus Johansson 21-14, 21-14 in straight sets. With the win, Sen has now moved up to the 16th rank in the men's singles category. India's Satwik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty began their All-England Open campaign in style. They eased past three-time world champions Mohammad Ahsan and Hendra Setiawan from Indonesia. The final score was 21-18, 21-14 in favour of Rankireddy and Shetty. Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo says she wants Russian athletes to be banned from the upcoming Olympics. She added that she was against Russian and Belarusian athletes competing in Paris due to Russian President Vladimir Putin's war in Ukraine. The mayor said, and I quote, "Maybe Russian athletes have nothing to do with it, but they are hostages to Putin's policy." Meanwhile, Hidalgo said that she would wholly welcome athletes from Israel despite Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's brutal war in Gaza. In entertainment news, Oscar-winning filmmaker Roman Polanski will face a trial for allegedly sexually abusing a minor. The case will be heard in the US next year. In 2023, a case was filed against the 90-year-old for allegedly abusing a teenage girl in 1973. It was the second time Polanski was accused of abusing a child. Earlier, he was found guilty of sexually assaulting a minor 4 decades ago. American actor Sharon Stone has accused producer Robert Evans of demanding sexual favors. The incident allegedly occurred during the shoot of the film Sliver in 1993. Stone claimed Evans pressured her to get intimate with her co-worker, Billy Baldwin. Leaving Neverland director Dan Reed has said that the script of Michael Jackson's upcoming biopic is an ode to the late singer. He added that the film goes out of its way to show Jackson interacting with kids in a positive way. This comes amid a controversy of whitewashing Jackson's image, who was accused of child sexual abuse. Earlier, the filmmakers of the biopic said it would be an honest portrayal of the singer's life. However, Reed's comments refute those claims. X-Men actor Olivia Man has been diagnosed with breast cancer. She has posted a series of photos on social media to share her story. Man said that she also underwent a double mastectomy, a surgery that removes both breasts. The 43-year-old actor said that she shared her story to inspire and support other cancer patients. The Robert Pattinson starrer The Batman 2 has been delayed by a year. The film will now hit theaters in October 2026. It was earlier scheduled for October 2025. This will allow James Gunn's Superman to spend enough days in cinemas. Superman is slated to release in July next year. Meanwhile, the Pattinson starrer Mickey 17 will release 3 days early in South Korea. The sci-fi film will open in Korea on the 28th of January next year. The movie will release in the rest of the world on the 31st of January. Mickey 17 was originally scheduled for release this month. However, its production was affected by the Hollywood writers and actors strike last year. Blackpink's Jisoo has donated the earrings from her YouTube channel to charity. The K-pop singer's earnings from her YouTube channel to charity. The K-pop singer says she donated the money to the UK-based international NGO Save the Children. Jisoo launched her YouTube channel in January 2023. The channel has gained around 5 million subscribers so far. Kim Kardashian and Ye's wife, Bianca Censori, were spotted together yesterday. They were attending a listening party for Ye's new album, Vultures. This was the first time that Kardashian and Censori were seen together in public. Ye and Kardashian divorced in 2022 after 8 years of marriage. American rapper Cardi B recently lost a veneer while eating a bagel. She hilariously made a video smiling and showing off her side gap. Ahead of losing the tooth, the rapper released the cover of her next single, Enough Miami. The song is set to release tomorrow. British singer Ed Sheeran met with Bollywood actor Shah Rukh Khan yesterday. The two stars shared a video of their meeting on social media. The singer was seen recreating Khan's iconic pose. Ed Sheeran is currently in India's Mumbai city. He'll be performing for the second time in Mumbai on the 16th of March.